The Cambridge Dictionary defines trigonometry as a type of mathematics that deals with the relationship between the angles and sides of triangles. With that being said, get ready for one of the most exciting trigonometry classes you'll ever have, as we get set to go racing here tonight at the Pocono Raceway, live on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hi everyone, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the AdPro 360 Challenger Series Sim Speed Shop 200. I'm Samuel Ryman, and alongside me in the booth is Sean Ambrose. Behind the scenes we have our director Joe Peak, and he's using camera sets made by the one and only Dougie Beard. Sean, as far as ovals go, this circuit's triangular shape certainly makes it unique, but I trust you can get our viewers up to speed from the right angle.
I can, but first, Sam, listen, sim racers, do you have a specific design or button combination in mind? You know, you can send a picture of your idea, simply draw it out on paper and send off that picture to Sim Speed Shop. Now, if there is a box that you'd like to add to your own touch to, you can send a picture of the box you'd like and note your modifications. They'll take a look at it, and they'll send you an estimate. Their pre-designed Signature Series boxes are the fastest and most economical method of shaving seconds off your time around the track. Now, contact them at their website, simspeedshop.com. That's simspeedshop.com, folks. And they're on social media as well, Facebook and Twitter. You can find them there. Now, let's talk about the legendary Pocono Raceway here in the beautiful Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. 2.5 miles long, Sam. This oval track has 6 degrees to 14 degrees to varied banking in the turns. Let's talk about those turns. Turn 1. 14 degrees, modeled after the old Trenton Speedway of the fairgrounds in New Jersey. Turn 2, 8 degrees, much like the tunnel turn at Indy. Very familiar feel through there. And then you got to talk about turn 3. 6 degrees of banking there, much like the Milwaukee Mile, a stop for IndyCar and for some of the lower division NASCAR Series cars, like the XFINITY that we're running tonight. 80 laps here tonight, Sam, but the real excitement is to be found on this track. And right now we're going to hop on board for a GSRC lap guide around Pocono Raceway.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek, taking you for a spin around the new Pocono Raceway in the GSRC Chevrolet Camaro. So without further ado, here we go for our hot lap. Swinging it right out here to the fence, off of turn 3, down this very long front stretch, long enough to land an airplane on, and it has happened in the past. Down here into turn 1, you're going to be braking right at about that one cone up there on the fence. Drive it straight into the corner, let the car rotate. You could here, guys, maybe grab third gear to try to get the momentum up off of the corner. Could be more weather dependent or setup dependent if that's beneficial or not. Down the long pond straightaway here, setting up your approach into turn number 2. Braking once again at the cone, swinging it right down here to the yellow line and bringing it back up off and straight off of the corner. Pocono is a very heavy momentum based oval, so the rhythm and the smooth is the way to be around here. So down here into turn 3, left sides towards that yellow line once again, swinging it right out here to the fence and down this very long and very wide front stretch one more time. You could see the drivers today go with 2, 3, 4, even 5 wide if they are brave. Down here into turn 1 again, as the run moves around, you could see guys maybe take a little higher arc. Down here, maybe run one seam up and then let it rotate around the corner and back down the straightaway once again. Still, you notice no more grass down the long pond straight, so a lot more area to play around with, a lot more area to avoid maneuvers and disasters and things like that. Down here into turn 2 once again, find the yellow line, bringing it straight back off of the corner. Down here into turn 3 is where things could get interesting and later on in the run, because you can see guys take a very aggressive approach, ride that second seam right there through the middle of the corner, pick up the gas very smooth, and try to get a good run down off of turn 3 to make an approach towards turn 1. But here we go, down the front stretch and across the line. And that is going to complete our guide here around the new Pocono Raceway. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
Well, that is a lap guide. Now, sometimes up here in the commentary booth, we wonder if the drivers watch these broadcasts after the race. Well, we think Adam Eisenhower does. Look at his hood there. I like Ike, and yes, we are going to use that nickname for the driver of the number 86 machine for the rest of the season. And I'll tell you what right now, Sean, I'm liking Ike for pole because he's set a lap time in qualifying faster than any of the laps we saw turned in practice.
Yeah, obviously that Q set pretty good there for Adam. A 54.2 is the only one to go down that far, 2 laps in already. Clewell, second on the board right now with a 54.3, and then everybody else 54.4 and back right now. But still a lot of cars left to come out here on track. Will Davis just shooting up the board to 6th with his 54.7. That was his first lap.
Yeah, you mentioned our provisional front row right now being Adam Eisenhower and Mark Clewell. Both of those are drivers competing in the points for the AdPro 360 Challenger Series. Not all of these drivers are. Some of them are racing for points over in the Cup and the Truck divisions. Let's take a quick look, Sean, at those drivers who are competing for points in these Xfinity cars.
Sam, let's do that. Talk about Gerald Campbell currently sitting on top. 278 points and having a great season here to start. Trey Galgan right now, 320 points back. There we go. Now, Trey is actually, I'm sorry, my bad. I was looking at the wrong chart there. Trey is on top right now, okay? And now all the drivers there in green, they have clinched their spot into the playoff. And Galgan right now in the lead. Gerald Campbell just behind. Okay, now those playoff points here, that's how many they've earned. So Gerald Campbell, by nature of the number of playoffs points that he's earned, sits at the top of the list. Josh Tanner in 3rd. Adam, our buddy Ike there in 5th. I'm sorry, 4th in the points. Gabriel Wood and Mark Clewell, like you said, Sam, they've locked themselves in. Tim Cox picking up that championship point all the way down there in 14th, outside of the bubble right now. He does have that one playoff point, Sam.
Yeah, there's 17 drivers actually competing for points in this league right now, in this division. And as we just saw there, only 12 are going to be able to make it into the playoffs. How the series works, let's have a look at our series details. You see, we are currently about to work round 9 of a 16-race regular season, and then they'll have 7 playoff rounds, which will determine the champion out of the 12 drivers that make it in. They're racing the NASCAR XFINITY cars, so you see them, Chevrolet, Ford, and Toyota. Fixed setups. It's not the iRacing fixed setup, it's a custom fixed setup. But here's where things get interesting. They have a limited amount of tires. The fuel is also limited. If you cause 2 incidents, the league will tell you to park your car for the night. And yes, this league does do green-white checkers. We have seen them happen. It basically ends up being a 10-car shootout when that occurs. And also stage racing. We'll get into that in just a moment. It'll be an 80-lap race tonight, 20 laps, then 40 laps to the trigger.
And Sam, in just a moment here, I think we're going to have a pretty good idea who our pole sitter is going to be. Ike is still hanging on to it, and for that, he is going to get our Sim Speed Shop Pole Award here in just a moment. I see just a couple of cars, or one car on track right now. It's Jeff Martin here on your screen. And Jeff is sitting on a 54.8 right now, coming around for a second lap, Sam.
Yeah, worth noting, Gabe. Oh, and Martin Harding to the wall. That's not going to help him improve his time. Worth noting that second in qualifying right now is Gerald Campbell. And what's significant about that is Campbell doesn't always do well in qualifying. We've seen him start at the back before and gradually have to work his way up to the front of the field throughout the duration of the race. 3 minutes left on the clock until they start gridding up, but doesn't look like anyone else is going to go out for a lap. But as you mentioned, Sean, we do still have a couple of drivers yet to turn the time, so we'll wait for a couple moments until we hand that award to Adam Eisenhower. Worth noting, the fastest driver in practice was the number 16 of Ken Richardson. He is one of the 3 drivers yet to turn a lap in quali.
practice? We don't really talk about practice. No. Honestly, Sam, no. Practice, again, yeah, very, very fast car. I think I don't think many of those guys are working on that quality set there in practice. I think they were working on race trim and calculating fuel. Here in practice, though, we've seen a bit of a turnaround as Richard only good enough for 7th right now. But I honestly think that that pole is going to stand there for Adam Eisenhower. Sam, why don't you go ahead and hand him out the award?
All right, let's go and do that. And it is once again from our friends at Sim Speed Shop. This is the round 9 winner of the Sim Speed Shop Pole Award. That, of course, being Adam Eisenhower. And for every 2 poles, the driver earns $5. And the driver with the most poles at the end of the season earns $20, courtesy of simspeedshop.com. And as we mentioned, that's a great place to order custom button boxes as well as buy and sell used equipment. For more information, go to simspeedshop.com. And just checking, this is Adam Eisenhower's first pole of the season, so he's going to have to wait to try and get another one later this season for that $5. What would you buy for $5, Sean?
Can I have a rectangle for $5, Sam?
This isn't your favorite track as a driver.
No, Sam. I for $5, I don't. You don't have to look through their catalog and see what they've got, but I could get a button to add to my current button box, maybe.
What's your favorite button on the button boxes? Talking about that, mine's always been the mute button. It's very handy doing arguments in race.
You know what? My favorite button is the Jensen button. Sorry. Come on, Sam. You're a Formula One fan.
Okay. It's your American pronunciation of Jensen that threw me off there. All right. Let's go to the grid. So, Adam Eisenhower on pole by just a little over 0.05 of a second over Gerald Campbell. Mark Clewell, he was sitting pretty on the front row, gets demoted to row number 2, alongside Gabe Wood, a driver still looking for that first win. He came within half a car length of it last time out at Charlotte. Kevin Fetty will be starting in 5th position ahead of Blake Griffith, and then Ray Richer will be starting in 7th alongside Will Davis. Rounding out the top 10, Sean, are Steve Siggers and Trey Galgon.
All right, Sam, let's go to row 6. It's going to be Jeff Martin, the man from Georgia. Chris Gala joining us tonight. Chris is in the grid and with us here at Pocono Raceway. He'll start 12th. Row 7, John Theodore and Mike Donahue complete that row. And 15th going to be Ken Richardson. Donald Stewart rounding out the outside in 16th. And 17th, Jeremy Crandall tonight, and he is the last driver in the field, Sam. Yes, we're a little thin here, but boy, we're going to be fast. We've probably got a pretty good wide open race on our hands here.
And you see one of the nice things about this new Pocono circuit, all the cars pointing diagonally there in pit road. The one thing iRacing still needs to add, Sean, is Le Mans starts.
Right.
Have to click the left and right buttons on your mouse maybe to make a guy run across the pit road, get into the car.
Sam, I think that's an excellent point. In fact, with the with the animated pit stops now, I think they are one step closer to perfecting that. And a Le Mans start would be great. That would be great if that was an option you could check off in your race room when you're setting it up for hosting, and just check that little box that says Le Mans start. No matter where you're racing, if you're at Sobo, if you're old Sobo at Modifieds, and all the Modified drivers got to run to their cars up the track, and all of them get in there. I like that, Sam. I like how you're thinking.
It'd be even more interesting when virtual reality takes over. You have to run in the spot to make a guy go fast. Oh, we got a race here tonight. Here we go. Cars starting to roll off of pit road. Just going to be one pace lap, and then 20 laps to the end of the first stage. Let's take a closer look at our race details here, Sean.
All right, Sam. Well, we've got 3 magical stages tonight, and there they are. It's an 80-lap race for you here this evening. 20 laps for those first two stages and then 40 laps in the final stage. And Sam, fuel honestly doesn't vary much from the Cup car, maybe about two or 3 gallons either way, but they're going to run right out the first and second stages, and they're going to need at least one stop in that final stage to get this race done. And of course, any cautions in between leave it open for a bit of strategy to come into play. Track not very aggressive on the tires, but if you're coming in for fuel here, you might as well get them because, as we've seen in every race before this evening, tires do seem to be the X factor right now in the Cup cars and the Xfinity cars.
You do not see Jeff Martin currently following the pace car around. He is going to opt to start from the pits. Obviously, it's a rather safe strategy call here at Pocono because you definitely don't run the risk of going a lap down in the first 20 laps. Will be interesting to see how the driver of that number 15 is able to utilize that strategy, if it's able to pay off for him in the long run. Adam Eisenhower is on the low side. He's about to lead the field to green. One thing, of course, always worth noting at Pocono, pretty much as soon as the pace car makes a hard left turn, the green flag flies, so Eisenhower won't have a whole lot of control over the field. They're pretty much all going to be on the loud pedal as soon as the pace car makes a left turn, which it does now. And they start accelerating. Green flag is out. It's not the best jump by Eisenhower, though. Gerald Campbell actually going to lead them across the line. Campbell on the high side in the number 6 machine as they head into turn 1. And looking down on the low side below them is Blake Griffin.
Boy, and Clewell stuck his nose in there, almost got chopped off by Blake. Blake, almost makes contact with the 00 there. Gabriel Wood, and boy, he ran up the hill, got right in front of Clewell. Now Clewell coming through to take that 4th spot, Sam.
Not only did Gerald Campbell get that jump off the line, he also got a nice run to turn 1. Gabe Wood is able to get a nice run on the high side of turn 2. And now pulse it. Adam Eisenhower, before we're already half a lap through the race, finds himself down in 3rd place.
Sam, Jeff Martin got that car out of the pit, and he's actually gaining on the field in front of him. So far, so good as we come around to complete this first lap.
Gerald Campbell, Gabe Wood, Adam Eisenhower, Mark Clewell, and Blake Griffith are your top 5. All of those 5 racing for points in this division.
Yeah, pretty solid start for a lot of these drivers in the middle of the field right now. Chris Scala, one of them, picking up 5 spots there off the start. John Theodore right behind him, he picked up the same. Both of those two getting off the line really good in lap 2 here.
Worth noting, Chris Scala is actually the first driver not competing for points here. Will Davis running in 6th place after starting 8th. Uh-oh, what's going on here?
A battle for the lead. Gabe Wood took a look on the inside and then had to shut it down. He ran out of straightaway.
Gabe Wood has led a lot of laps this season, and I've said this a million times before, but he hasn't led the last one. Hopefully, for his sake, that'll be the last time I say that this year. It's got to be frustrating, Sean. I mean, pretty much given his performances, we know he's going to be locked into the playoffs at the end of the season, but he'd love to get a win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think this race could be anybody's tonight. I'm going to be honest. I think the field here pretty tight and almost level. And this could be Gabe's night. He's got to catch Gerald Campbell, though, and figure out a way to get around because the clean air is really helping Gerald Campbell turn that car right now, and everybody else behind is in somebody's wake, and that is a bit of a problem for them. Watching Clewell trying to just figure out Ike right now, and there's nothing there behind him. Blake Griffith still kind of being held up a little bit, it looks like.
Wood gets a nice run through turn 3, and you see Campbell already trying to break a draft. Wood tucked up right behind him. It's only lap 4. He's thinking about making a move, but no, just a bit too far back and too many laps left to go.
Oh, Clewell just had a little bit of trouble down in turn 1. He bounced it off the top of the curb. Ooh, that was a close moment. He was able to save the car. It started to slide away from him, but he got out of the throttle just a little bit, burped it so it would settle.
So top 6, as we mentioned, all points contenders in this division and all separating themselves from the rest of the field. Running hard there to get these valuable stage points that will be coming up in 16 laps for now. Just 17 cars here tonight, but they are all, as Sean just mentioned, very competitive. Everyone's still in contention within 15 seconds of the leader, despite seeing the pit start. That's Jeff Martin back there in 17th. And Gerald Campbell continues to hold on to the lead, but not by much.
And Steve Seegers here in the back just got passed by Ken Richardson. That was for 10th spot. Richardson has his Camaro in 10th now, up 5 spots. Another driver kind of moving through the field here pretty quickly.
Yeah, but we should expect that, Sean. He was the fastest driver in practice, but for whatever reason didn't turn the lap. Oh, and into the wall was Gabe Wood. It looks like this could be another race that escapes him. The only thing I'll say onto that is normally he hits trouble late in the race. Maybe he'll be saved by hitting trouble early on here. Just a little too wide exiting the tunnel turn, Sean.
Yeah, now he's having trouble dealing with Clewell. As Clewell now gets under him. Eisenhower going for the lead. Battle up in front of them, Sam.
Yeah, it'll be interesting taking a look at that replay once this is all said and done. If Campbell also had a moment in turn 2. Campbell right now defending on the high side. Eisenhower getting a nice run down low. Trying to take back the lead he lost at the start of the race.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think Campbell just missed his turn in back there, Sam. I don't think it was aero at all. I just think he lost his depth perception there for a moment. He's dropping like a rock. Here comes Will Davis making a move around him. Will Davis slingshots around him right off the turn.
And at the same time, Mark Lewell making a move for second ahead of Adam Eisenhower. Gabe Wood, of course, back there in 5th. Gerald Campbell still leading the race. Top 5 have shaken up a bit since last lap. Gerald Campbell leads, Clewell up to 2nd, Eisenhower 3rd, Will Davis 4th, Gabe Wood in 5th.
Gabe Wood close to losing that spot as now Blake Griffith is roll over him.
Chris Scala just holding his ground in 7th behind this pack.
Is it me or is all of a sudden Eisenhower struggling here, Sam?
Well, he struggled on the opening lap and it looked like he was coming back, and now, as you mentioned, he definitely washed out there out the back of Clewell.
Just can't seem to get that thing to stick in the center. It keeps wanting to push on him, and that could be an issue here early on. Davis now around him. Man, Davis still moving. Wood seems to have settled down here for a moment. Got himself riding in the rocking chair here.
Yeah, talk about Will Davis moving up into 3rd. One very surprising statistic. Will Davis has yet to have a top 5 finish this season, which bewilders me considering how many times we've seen him running towards the front.
Oh, we had a car hit the wall. I think it was that John Theodore? That was the 49. It was Trey Galgan. Boy, he wrapped it hard. Loses a couple of spots there. We'll catch this on the replay. Oof.
Galgan, one of the drivers already locked into the playoffs after a win early on this season. Yeah. And a lot of drivers knocking the wall down here early, Sean, but they're getting away with it. Of course, the aerodynamic damage won't help them in the long run.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And it wasn't just Galgan. It was the 26th there. Steve Seegers wraps it pretty good too. Both of them now dealing with right side damage on their cars. We'll look at Seegers from on board here, Sam.
Yes, seems to be a bit of a pattern here today. These drivers are so on their track. If a driver in front of you makes a mistake, they're kind of copying them into that mistake. I wonder if he's, just using each other as kind of a reference point. Meanwhile, though, Clewell doesn't want any dirty air in front of him. He's got a nice run on Gerald Campbell here going into 3.
Boy, Sam, it's a good battle, but I'll tell you what, Chris Scala just dropped Gabriel Wood, and he did it right along with Blake Griffith, and now he's attacking Griffith down the front straight.
Yes, so Gabe Wood still struggling with that early damage. The good news, of course, all of these drivers, as long as they keep it pointing in the right direction, will finish stage one on the lead lap and be able to get repairs under the lengthy caution laps that we have here at Pocono at the end of the first stage.
Well, top four have started to kind of let themselves get away a little bit. Eisenhower off the wall again. Wow.
And once again, Sean Clewell trying to use that low line in turn 3 to make a move by Campbell. This time it might work because Campbell really got out of the groove.
Yeah, he pulled it off that time. Be careful not to let him cross him over here. But no, Clewell with a really exceptional run there. Gets himself in the lead here, Sam.
So Clewell leading, Campbell second, Will Davis holding his ground in third, Eisenhower, despite dropping back a bit, is in fourth. First battle on track is the one you've been watching, Sean, back here for fifth. This three-way battle between Scala, Griffith, and Wood.
And they are side by side. Scala had to back out of it. Car had started to push on him, did not want to knock down Blake Griffith. Scala's got to get back to work here and try and close that gap again.
But these drivers, I think, better beware of the driver in 8th place behind them. Ken Richardson, we talked about him being fastest in practice, not turning the qualifying time, rallying his way up through the field. Well, now he's in 8th, and he's right behind this three-way battle for 5th.
Yeah, Gabe Wood's not going away. And he's going to have to deal with that damage on the pit stop, but he's not going away. He's going to stay in Scala's mirror. That's the best he can hope for right now. Sam, just like that, we are well past the halfway point of this first stage. The top four, though, again, continue to pull away just a little bit at a time. Blake Griffith, about a second and a half back right now. On board with Ken Richardson as he tries to chase down Gabe Wood.
Working lap number 12 right now of 20 laps in this first stage, 80 laps in the race. Lap times, for reference, are about 2 seconds a lap slower than what they were at the start of the race. I wonder how much of that is due to track conditions. Sean, a rather hot day here today. It
is warm, Sam. Now, it's partly cloudy outside, just a little over 76 degrees, but on track, Sam, we're dealing with about 104, 105 degree track temperatures. Well, it's 101 right now, spiking about as high as 103, 105. A little bit of wind, not much. That's not the biggest factor, but the track temperature will be. These tires will start to blister up towards the end of the run. And I was just watching Gabriel Wood again having trouble out of the turn. That car is wicked loose right now, Sam, and I'm afraid it's getting worse every lap.
Yeah, Ken Richardson has moved his way up into 6th now, gradually. Well, Chris Scala might think about counter-attacking. I think I might hurt Scala, actually, riding right up on him like that. He'll get a bit of aero push in turn 3. Another driver, not worth watching right now, Sean, but worth watching late on, Jeff Martin. We talked about how he started from the pits. His lap times are faster than pretty much everyone 8th on back right now. But of course, yeah, he's not going to be able to make passes on a whole lot of them because he started so far behind. But just remember him late on in the race.
Yeah, now he's still trying to close the gap, which is about just over 3 seconds right now. But you're absolutely right about the laps he's been turning, Sam. One of the faster cars on the track right now, and I think that will serve him best at the end of the stage when they get ready to go again. Richardson closing it in on Griffith. And Richardson right now, hands down, our mover of the race. 9 spots, and he's still climbing the ladder. We're going to try and get there before the end of this stage. Just 5 laps left, Sam.
That's a battle for 3rd. You see ahead of them, Adam Eisenhower making a move on Will Davis. Will Davis has just been riding on his own in 3rd. for a long time. It doesn't look like he'll finish a stage there, though. One thing I've got to wonder about, Sean, as Blake Griffith and Ken Richardson to continue the battle for fifth, is if any of these drivers will pit around lap 17 or 18 to try and make a strategy call to set them up for a track position at the start of stage 2.
Yeah, I don't know, Sam. I don't think so. I don't see it happening. Not today. Maybe.
Will Davis not giving up third place. Go ahead, Sean.
No, I think they're going to just run it out here to the end of the stage. I think everybody's a little bit too far spread out for them to have any luck with that strategy. Eisenhower fighting back, though. Going to get him on the inside there, across the stripe. Down into 1. This is easily my favorite turn on the track, Sam. You can carry you're flat out of the way down in there, and then you've got to find that sweet spot to roll through the center of turn 1.
Now, I wonder, Sean, how many laps you've done on this configuration of Pocono. Are the bumps still there that used to be there on the old configuration? I know that's thrown me off many times here on iRacing.
No, they've smoothed it out a bit, Sam. The car is certainly a lot more stable than it was.
Scala and Blake Griffith racing for 6th position. Scala on the low side, Griffith on the high side. Ooh, getting a bit too close for comfort there, boys.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Scala has had a great start to this race, and everything looking up here. The car still looks clean. He's managed this situation very, very well. Oh, Jeff Martin's, you know what? He closed that 3 seconds down pretty quick. Here he is, moving on Jeremy Campbell.
Yeah, Jeremy Crandall he didn't set a lap doing qualifying. He started at the back. Oh, going to try a crossover here, though.
Yeah, doesn't get a good run there, though, off the center. And it's going to be Martin that locks down 16th position and now gets to get to work on the next one. I think we're going to reach the end of the stage before he gets there, unfortunately. But hats off to Jeff Martin. That's a gamble that kind of paid off for him there, Sam.
Oh, I mean, I think he'd have higher track position if he started with the pack, but I think he was anticipating a bit of an ugly start, but also he knows the fact that even after the stage ends, we've got 60 laps left of racing. Now, Jeremy Crandall, it must be said, even though he qualified last, well, he didn't qualify at all and is running in last place right now, he's only 20 seconds behind the lead after 20 laps, and being pretty much less than a second a lap off of a lead at a track as big as Pocono is no small feat. As you mentioned, Sean, in the third stage of these races that we've seen in this series, strategy and attrition play a bit more of a factor, and as long as these drivers, as we see another battle going on here where Ike's trying to make a move, and as long as these drivers at the back of the field just play their cards right and are there at the end, they'll still be in the running, I think, for top 10, if not top 5 finishes.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Sam. Well, I love the battle we got on screen. Ike was looking to the inside, and he comes up to the top. Maybe tried to make a move around the top side, but now that's not going to get it done. Will Davis makes it stip down on the stripe there and gets a good push off the corner, and he is back down the straightaway.
Jeff Martin is pitting, so this is his strategy call, Sean. Okay, I'll run in last place for stage 1, but I'm starting stage 2 from the front.
Sam, I'll shut up now. You can just call the rest of this one, okay, buddy?
Oh, I got the Lionheart IndyCar race after this. Double feature tonight here on GSRC, guys. Battle for third, back on.
They are, boy, and off of turn 3, they were locked up. They're going to come across the stripe that way, and I'd say give it to Davis right now, but coming into 1, Ike comes right up alongside him, and is going to get a nice run there. Can he hold on to it? Oh! Davis has got to back out of it just a little bit to avoid the contact there with Eisenhower. Well, let's get a replay of that. Woo, that was close.
Yes, it was, and unfortunately you saw right before these drivers went into turn one, there was a factoid I completely overlooked, and that's the fact that Jeff Martin was 20 seconds back of the leader before he came in for the pits, so he did not stay on the lead lap, so he will not lead us back to green at the start of stage 2. As stage 1 wraps up the completion of lap 20, Mark Clerwell across the line first, following him Gerald Campbell. Adam Eisenhower wins up out for third with Will Davis, Ken Richardson fifth, Blake Griffiths sixth, Chris Scala seventh. Back in 8th place is Gabe Wood, ahead of John Theodore and Steve Sagers, rounding out the top 10.
Well, you know what, Sam? Folks, if you're playing bingo at home with us, you're familiar with that GSRC bingo card. You can check out that bad strategy prediction by me. So that's not one that we've got to hit a whole lot. And who knows, you may start a great bingo with that one tonight. Sam, Jeff, I like the way Jeff Martin's thinking. I'm sorry I disagreed with you earlier.
Well, it didn't work out, Sean, because he went a lap down.
Did he, Sam?
Yeah. We saw him right as that battle for third went into turn 3. They were going by him. Now, of course, Martin will get the lucky dog, but he won't be able to restart from the front of the field at the start of stage 2.
You know what I hate? I hate that I missed that because I guess I was looking at my timing and scoring wrong. It came across, but I thought he was still in the lead lap. So I'm seeing now, obviously he isn't, so it didn't work out. So I was right. Sam, what I really want to talk about is the start we got off to. Could you ask for much more than that?
No, it was great racing. Now, we kind of anticipated a green flag opening first stage. This series has produced that a lot of times this season. Likewise, clean racing in stage 2, which of course will only be about 15 laps of green flag racing before the caution comes out then that stage. Where things get intriguing strategy and attrition-wise is normally the final stage. However, what do we have to look forward to in stage 2? More great side-by-side racing, as we saw in the opening stage. Drivers setting themselves up in good positions for the final stage. And, of course, comers and goers. Which drivers have been sandbagging in this opening stage, and which drivers are just short-run drivers? Will anyone struggle in the longer run later tonight? Well, first off, though, you're going to want to get track position. Coming out of pit road, Clerwell and Campbell lead them in. Who will lead them out?
Interesting. I'll keep my money on Clewell here. Boy, Clewell just, once he got to the front, it just looked like he was in a whole nother class. That car really dialed in. He seems to have Pocono figured out. And Sam, of all the tracks in the iRacing surface, and Clewell misses his pit box.
Ike misses it even worse. It's very hard to get these heavy stock cars rode down from 60 miles an hour on pit road, Sean. And Gerald Campbell, who hit his marks, he will lead the race off on pit road.
Ooh, and Clewell, I think Clewell got bested there. Yeah, Ken Richardson gets out ahead of him. Ah, what a stop for Richardson.
Yeah, well, let's not forget Clewell overshooting his pit stall. Honestly, he got lucky with that only costing him 2 spots. Ike missed it even worse, and Adam Eisenhower is going to be restarting around 10th place. Gabe Wooden is staying in the pits for now to get those repairs to his 00 machine. Remember, he knocked now he rolls out. He knocked the wall down pretty good in that opening stage.
You know, Chris Scala managed to come out in 4th also. Or as well, no, okay. Maybe not. No, that was 5th. Griffith's going to go around there.
All right, well, I think we've got a couple more laps left under this yellow because we had a driver lap down at the time of caution. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the restart on the GSRC. Our director tells us we're hot again and I have to push a button, just like what you would have to do on a button box if you had one from simspeedshop.com. They are, of course, tonight's race sponsor. This is the Sim Speed Shop 200 here at Pocono Raceway, round 9 of the AdPro 360 Challenger Series. Gerald Campbell and Ken Richardson about to lead the field back to green for stage number 2. Remember, when the pace car turns off, the green flag comes out, and it was Adam Eisenhower, our pole sitter tonight, I think, got caught off guard a little bit by that, Sean, and as a result, Gerald Campbell led the race into turn 1 on that high side, and Campbell is choosing that high side again for this restart. He's going to try and use that momentum to carry him through the first turn and lead down the long pond straight ahead of Ken Richardson.
Wise move. Here we go, Sam. There you go, Sam. Exactly what you said. He gets off to a great jump here off the start. Boy, yeah, everybody else fell asleep on that.
Yeah, he's not even going to have to worry about Richardson on these inside. In fact, Richardson has to worry about Blake Griffith here. Richardson just licks the stamp and sends it into turn 1.
With authority, indeed. Clewell already looking to try and make a pass on Griffith here down the straight.
Yeah, this is not a good restart for Griffiths right now, but we did see he got a bit more aggressive in the long run in stage 1. Unfortunately for him, there's no such thing as a long run here in this second stage. We're only 14 laps away right now from the end of it.
Here comes Will Davis up to 5th. Battling side by side with John Theodore. Theodore getting pinched up there by the wall as it comes down the front straight, Sam, to the line. Will Davis going to hang on to that 5th spot as they head into 1, side by side.
Very close together. Chris Scala has the front row seat of this, back in 7th place right now. And Davis getting a better run on the exit of a turn, but it's not over yet. Now, I'm sure Scala's going to start getting a little bit impatient here because he's got a nice gap over Adam Eisenhower in 8th, and I'm sure he doesn't want to lose it.
Yeah, field spread out pretty quickly. And Theodore just seems to have been struggling since we got started. Continues to drop here through the field. Eisenhower now closing on him as Scala gets underneath.
Oh, Eisenhower having to go defensive on Steve Sagers there. And using the rumble strips behind Sagers was Dave Wood.
Eisenhower almost kissed it up there at turn 3.
You see him using all the track as they go down the front straight to try and get underneath John Theodore for turn 1. Tell you, that shows just how tight the field is. Our driver who qualified on pole and our driver who qualified 13th racing each other hard on track. And the top 2 racing each other hard. Gerald Campbell on the high side in the tunnel turn. Not a place where you want to be side by side, especially for the lead, because they could get swamped by Blake Griffith here.
Oh, and Griffith's got to get out of it. He has no choice, nowhere to go. Oh, and Ken Richardson, he's been fighting for this since the green flag dropped at the beginning of the race, Sam. Richardson now up 13 spots, wants 1 more here to get to the front.
Man, Griffiths must have felt like he was stuck behind a grandma in the slow lane with a semi in the middle lane there on the interstate. He got a nice run and it didn't have anything to do with it. And we'll try and be politically correct here on the GSRC. It could also have been a grandpa in that slow lane.
Oh, and
or a younger driver.
Clewell, Will Davis, Sam. That is heating up just a bit there for 4th. And Davis looked like he was going to send it into turn 2. He backed out of it. Now back on the attack. Ooh, Clewell with a really nice run. He sent it down in there. He's able to make it stick so far. Yeah, that's a good turn for Clewell. Going to get a nice run down the straight.
Mike Donahue hitting the wall hard down turn 3, rolling upside down into the pits. There'll be no caution because he's off the racing line, but Donahue is done.
Oh man, and he hit that safer barrier down there very, very hard. I believe that car is about 1.5 feet shorter now, Sam, as we watch the replay. I think he gets loose by himself, doesn't he?
He doesn't even get loose, Sean. He just he overshoots the exit of 3. He probably got a bit of air wash from the cars in front of him, pancakes the wall, and it shoots him off into the inside.
Oh. I'm afraid that might be the end of the day for that car.
Battle on for 4th. Will Davis, Mark Clewell. Oh, very tight there.
Very tight again, Sam.
And look, and the leaders are weaving all their way down the front straight, trying to break draft from each other. But this is the first side-by-side battle going on. Clewell has it right now. Obviously, these drivers in just a 15-lap stint, essentially, that we've got here, not too concerned about their tyres. Battle on for 2nd now. Blake Griffith underneath Ken Richardson, heading into the tunnel turn.
Griffith really bouncing up and down here throughout the top 10. Seems to have found a little bit of comfort now, and he has got a good battle going here with Richardson. Poor Richardson, he had a shot at getting to the very top and has now struggled to hold on to 2nd. Griffith's going to come along on the inside here. Looks like he's got that.
Another car off at the back, and that's going to bring out a yellow. It's Eisenhower. Adam Eisenhower, he was our pole sitter, ran up front in the first half of the stage, overshot his pit stall at the end of stage 1, and was trying to rally his way back up through the field. Now, we'll find out exactly what happened here. Probably a similar incident to what we saw for Donahue.
Sam, he comes out of turn 3. The rear end steps out on him just a little bit, but then the car glides across the track. So many cars. You're going to watch all these cars come right in front of him right here. Well, we didn't see it there on the replay, but back live now. But there were several cars that avoided that incident in getting into him as they came through after the car had stopped on the track.
Yeah, and because the car stopped on the track, that will bring our caution out. Our 2nd caution of the day, our first for an incident. Now, they will have enough laps here left that they'll have a shootout to end stage 2. When do you take tyres? I've got to imagine the smart choice, Sean, is keep track position now and get the stage points at the end of stage 2, then come in for your stop. Someone's got to train for that.
Someone will, but you got to finish the stage here, Sam. You got to finish it in the position you're in, and I don't like the idea of coming in for tires here. Hang on to your spot. Don't worry about what anybody else is going to do. Just hang on to your spot. Sam, now that flag was thrown by race control. That was not an iRacing triggered flag, so which is a bit of a surprise, to be honest with you, because the way that incident wound up, I think the caution flag probably would have triggered anyway. And again, there were several drivers that got through that just avoided getting into Mike Donahue. Or I'm sorry, Adam Eisenhower. My bad.
I think that message we're getting from race control saying they've thrown the caution flag was actually for the end of stage number 1. Either way, we're under caution right now and pits are about to open. Will we have any takers?
You know, Sam, I'm sorry. That is my bad, and I'm getting things wrong here tonight. You're absolutely right. That caution flag was for the end of the first stage. That was an iRacing caution. So to be clear, everyone.
Oh, it's okay, Sean, because I think I might have been wrong on the strategy call here.
Now,
right,
Richardson
Richardson
has been really, really fast, okay? That's a lot of cars to get through. He's going to have, at least 9 that he's going to have to try and get around to get to the front.
So our leaders, when we go back to green, will be Gerald Campbell, Blake Griffith, Mark Clewell, Will Davis, and Gabriel Wood has managed to work his way back up into the top 5. Oh, and A development here. Unfortunately, Sean, it doesn't look like Richardson was coming in for a pit stop. He was coming in to retire.
Ah. Has real life gotten in the way of racing?
There's a difference.
I think there is tonight for Ken Richardson. Wow, that is a bit of a surprise. Well, let's see. That leaves it up to Chris Scala, who came in. And Scala gave up positions to do that, so still in the top 10, still with a chance for playoff points, Sam. But like I said, he gave up positive positions to get there. Can he get around Richard Fetty, Stuart Galgan, all these first two rows in front of him?
And one reason some of our viewers might be saying, well, of course more people are going to play this strategy. Strategy is always, you know, a good card to play in iRacing. A lot of our viewers might be saying that watching this broadcast who haven't seen a race for the series before. Well, let's throw in that curveball that we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. These drivers have a limited set of tyres. So that's why I was thinking, well, wouldn't you want to save those tyres for later on in the race?
Well, you do, Sam. You do want to save those tyres for later on. You know, and I think it depends on where you're at in the points. What are you really fighting for in this race right now? So, to be honest with you, if I'm up there in the points right now, then I'll probably go ahead and take a set now because I'll probably have another one there at the end. If I'm trying to get myself up in there, man, I'll tell you what, I'm going to play this as safe as possible to the end.
One consolation for the driver who brought out our latest caution, Adam Eisenhower. He does already have a win this season. He got there at the season open at Daytona, running a very good season for rookies. Performances, I think, Sean, have been getting stronger, just a bit off a little more than he could treat tonight.
Yeah, you could be right about that. Adam, just, boy, that's a tough way to end his evening.
Well, credit where it's due. It's not over yet. I mean, these long caution laps, he can still get repairs, stay on the lead lap, but I don't think that's the car that we'll see in victory lane.
And boy, I'll tell you what, Adam and his sponsor, Sim Speed Shop, would have loved to have seen that car in victory lane tonight. It's going to be a tough road to hoe here at this point.
Right, anticipate the lights going out on the pace car this time by. If they do, that means we will get a 4-lap shootout starting next time by 10 stage number 2. Now, even though this series does green-white checkers, a caution can end the stage, and pretty much any time a caution comes out after the restart, Sean, would be our stage 2 end in yellow. Hopefully we don't get one though for an incident. You know, we'll go all 4 laps, and then at the halfway point we'll finish the second stage and get set for the final race to the end.
I am excited about this restart. Clewell has had the fast car. Can he get to the front? Can he get around Blake Griffith? I don't know. We'll see here. Both cars on the same strategy right now. Will Davis is going to be tough. And you know who's back up in this mix? Gabriel Wood. Car is certainly in better shape now than it was in that first stint, or earlier in the stint when he had trouble.
Yeah, Gabe Wood always seems to find trouble, Sean, whether it's his own making or someone else's, so get out of the way early. He did that. Once again, Trevor Campbell picking the high lane for the restart. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Why is 6 afraid of 5? Because it's starting on his inside here. And Griffith definitely, I think, would love to win this stage. Should we stop doing numbers on GSRC, Sean?
Yeah. No. Just as long as we're not trying to add any numbers, just subtract. Here we go, Sam. Everybody getting ready to unwind now.
All right, they come across the line to complete lap 36. This stage ends at lap 40. You do the math, because we can't. And that is how many laps we have to the end of stage number 2. And right now it looks like Campbell is going to try and get it. Clewell won stage 1. Will Davis on the high side of Griffith there.
Here comes Chris Scala with those fresh tires, Sam. Already taking 2 spots up along the 49 already at Trey Galgan. He's going to pass him like he's standing still. Then a backstretch.
Yes, Scala already up to 6. He's right behind Gabe Wood as they enter turn number 5. He's going to get boxed in a little bit there. Try to use the apron. Gets a nice run as they come down the short chute.
Dilly, baby, because the 05 is moving right on the inside of Clewell. Oh, he's right down on the apron, almost into the grass. Wow, Scala up to 4th.
And there's a nice run on Griffith here. Gonna try and get 3rd as they go down the main straight. 3 laps left to go in the stage.
Man.
Oh, threw it in there. He's going to try and get 2 in one go. He's going to be able to pull it off. Now, of course, the bad side about this for him, Sean, is this is what these drivers will be doing to him at the start of the 3rd stage. But right now, Scala's not thinking about that. He's thinking about the bonus points for winning this stage. And the director points out he's actually not competing for the points in this stage. He's thinking about the bragging rights for winning this stage.
Yeah, which makes me think that he'll come in and get another set of tires after this. This is all about just getting up here and winning the stage right now. And Scala, boy, you see him just pull away from Gerald Campbell. What do fresh tires mean? Well, everything.
So with 2 laps left to go in the stage, doesn't look like anything is going to challenge that 05 for overall honours at the halfway point of this race. Campbell will try and hold on the 2nd ahead of Davis and Griffith. First time in a while Campbell's had to experience Derby yet.
Here comes Campbell. That's a good time to step out and try and make a move.
Yes, Will Davis going underneath him. I wonder if that dirty air is hurting Campbell. He loses that position pretty easily.
Seekers and Martin mixing it up back here for 8th.
Yeah, Martin, these are both drivers on those newer tyres, but Martin is using Gabe Wood as a pick to kind of box Seekers in behind him. Gabe Wood, another one of those drivers struggling on the older tyres right now, but it could pay off in a few laps. We'll wait and see.
Sam, Chris Scala, with a little bit of strategy there, decides to come in, get some fresh tires. I think that was the call. He rolls it through turn 2. End of stage 2, almost complete here.
Here he comes through the final turn to end the stage. Scala, by 2 seconds, is going to take a stage number 2 win. Who's he going to take it over? It'll be Will Davis in 2nd, Gerald Campbell in 3rd, John Theodore in 4th, Mark Clewell in 5th, Blake Griffith in 6th. Behind him in 7th are Steve Sagers, Jeff Martin, Gabe Wood, and Donald Stewart rounded out the top 10. I haven't mentioned Stewart yet today, getting a top 10 finish in stage 2.
Yeah, Stewart started in 16th, so everything looking up for him right now.
I think the league organisers are watching our broadcast, Sean. They put a note in the chat there for you. They've thrown the caution flag, end of stage 2.
Yeah, let's help the old guy along. Appreciate it, guys. I got to tell you, it's a hell of a call by Scala there, and it's a good stage win. Yeah, he's not really racing for the points in this championship, but and you know what? I'm going to confirm that actually, because maybe he was running for the truck points and not the Challenger Series.
No,
I know.
no, he's not running in this championship. I can confirm that right now.
Right. Yeah, he was a little bit late to the league and really just kind of wanted to check things out around here. But he has certainly proven that he knows how to get it done behind the wheel here of these Xfinity cars. And his Toyota has been really, really fast at times tonight. It was really fast with those new tires. And they have caught the pace car, the Ford Mustang.
Yeah, John Theodore was our second driver across the line on new tires there. He got 4th place. So it's an easy call for the drivers who didn't pit a few laps ago, Sean. They're pitting for 4 tires.
Yeah.
What do you do if you did pit?
I'm coming in, getting more tires. After seeing what Scala did right there, I don't want to restart this behind the 8 ball.
Now, it's worth noting, Scala and everyone who pit under the last caution will have one more set of tyres left that they can take when they come in for their stop under for their scheduled stop under the final stage. The problem becomes is if there's a caution, let's say with 5 laps left to go or something, or 10 laps left to go in the final stage. Oh, and Scala stays out. Okay, never mind. He's saving 2 sets of tyres.
Yep. Okay, so he's going to go with what you were just trying to explain there, and that's he'll have the set for when he comes in and gets fuel, and then if we get a late caution, he'll have a set to come back and fight to the front with. So, Sam, I'm not going to disagree with the call at all. He's going to get some laps here to cool off the tires, so he should get a decent start.
Yeah,
Gerald Campbell misses.
Yeah, he overshot his pit stall there, Sean.
Now, I have seen Scala do this before, where he may come around, he's done this in other series. I've seen him do it before. Scala, one of those drivers that doesn't mind starting a little bit further towards the back and having to work his way through the field.
Well, one possible scenario, Sean. I mean, it could be... Well, it's not a race-winning move. I was going to say, if you're points racing, you might even just come in just to top off with fuel, still save that set of tyres, but get you out of the way of all those drivers who are just going to be freight training you on the restart and avoid an incident. But why should Scala worry about doing that if he's not running for points? It's not a race-winning call.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, like I said before, I think he'll be okay on the start. I think where his big problem will be, you get about 3 or 4 laps into the run, then that's where I think the tires are starting to even out again, and his will start to degrade quicker because they're coming towards the end of a run. So we'll see here what he decides to do. I'm starting to feel like he's probably going to stay out here. Maybe
Look who's restarting right behind him. Someone who would not want to see a caution during the final stage, who just wants to pit one more time, and that's John Theodore in 27, because Theodore was one of the drivers who pit about 10 laps ago, and now he just pit, we assume, for tyres again too, and he won the race off of pit road. So my guess is Theodore, as long as he doesn't get passed by Davis or Clewell going into turn 1, will be leading this race in a couple of laps' time, and that's quite incredible considering the fact he started 13th.
Well, I'll tell you what, this start is going to be exciting, Sam. I like Scala's chances here off the start. I don't know how it'll hold up. He's got an angry mob behind him, and all of them came in and took that stop. We've got 14 left running here, and all 14 of them are on this lead lap.
Yeah, I mentioned Gerald Campbell overshot his pit stall that dropped him back to 5th place. The 3 cars he mentioned off of a lead lap, Adam Eisenhower, he tried to get as many repairs as he could, but I guess it wasn't enough. He's showing 8 laps down now. He's out of the race. Ken Richardson documented his troubles earlier on, where he just pulled into pit road and retired. And then, of course, Mike Donohue, whose car ends upside down. When you're upside down at Pocono, that is not a good combo. When you're upside down at an Australian circuit, it can work for you.
Does it work that way in Asia too?
Asia's northern hemisphere, right? Maybe in Brazil.
Okay.
Africa's where it gets a bit complicated.
True. Very true. Sam, you know, if we look at the field right now, we've only got 36 laps to go. I'm trying to find a long shot here. Somebody who pit there? Oh, Crandall comes in. That's interesting. I wonder why Crandall's back in. I wonder if that's a top off of fuel. You know, Sam, 36 laps to go. This might be a great opportunity for a top off here. You might be able to make it to the end. Just fuel, no tires.
Oh, even if he can't make it to the end, Sean, less fuel that he has to take during his final stop. That's the top of the hour. And we have 35 laps of racing left to go. For all we know, this race could be over in 30 minutes if it goes green the whole way. However, things have been known to get a bit dicey in this league when the final stage has happened. As Sean mentioned, we have 14 drivers all on the lead lap, all competing for the win. Many of these drivers competing in the Series Points Championship. Not that many out there who aren't racing for points. Although one of those who isn't racing for points today is our current race leader, Chris Scala, who has elected the inside line for this restart. And John Theodore, I have a feeling, is going to be sitting pretty if he can get a good restart in that number 27 machine up high, because we have seen their high line definitely work over in turn one on these colder tyres. The lights are out on the pace car as they come through turn number 3. Scala down low, Theodore down high, pace car down way low, and here goes the green flag. Nice restart by Scala, not a great restart by Theodore. Will Davis could be the car to beat.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think what happened with Theodore was he was worried about jumping the start and let off at the wrong time. Scala dropped the hammer on him quick. Scala got a hold on to the lead. Will Davis in close pursuit. Clewell dropping the line, almost gets run over by Gerald Campbell trying to make it to the bottom of the turn.
And Will Davis gets a nice run. And look at Theodore trying to get the lead back as they just run by Chris Scala, who will be on the height side. We're seeing cars go by him down low over here in the tunnel turn. So Davis leads, Theodore second. Up in third goes Clewell, our stage 1 winner.
Boy, and maybe those tires not quite as good as I thought they would be for Scala on the restart. Not so bad. He's hanging in, but boy, he got shuffled out, and that's not the spot he wants to be right now. Already back to 5th.
I think this is the first time we've seen Davis up front tonight. Remember what we mentioned earlier, despite all of Davis's front running this season, he has yet to have a top 5.
Yeah, and you know, Theodore got a pretty good restart with him. It's second place for him right now, Sam. He started 13th today in this Chevrolet Camaro.
John Theodore has been a master of consistency this season. He's down in points because he's only been in 5 races, but he's came home with 4 top 10 finishes.
The man who says it's water, I swear.
See if Theodore can attempt a crossover here. He was up a bit high entering turn 3. I don't think he timed it great, but he does have a nice run on Davis, and Davis is responding to it. He's going defensive down the front straight.
Yeah, you just said it. Davis responds to it. He sees what's going on in his mirror. There goes Theodore. Ooh, he sends it to the bottom. Davis trying to hang on side by side.
Well, these drivers qualified in 8th and 13th positions respectively. The drivers who started in positions 2, 3 and 4 round out the top 5 right now. That's Mark Cledwell, Errol Campbell, Gabriel Wood, and if these two battle too hard, these three definitely have a pace to run them down, maybe even catch them and pass them.
Sam, we stopped talking about Chris Scala. Maybe he's glad we did. He's dropped all the way to 10th now. As Jeff Martin Jeremy Crandall just got around him. Now he's under threat from Steve Seegers. Ooh, and Seegers having a wicked moment off of turn 3.
Tells you what 5 laps on your tires will do.
Yeah.
Davis up a bit high in turn 1. Seeing if Theodore could have made a good run on him, it wasn't to be. Boy, top 6, all nose to tail. They pulled out about a second on the rest of the field, and they're covered by 1 second themselves. Oh, Theodore! Very loose in turn 2. Saves it. Very difficult to do at 150 miles an hour. They're all going to lose a bit of time to Davis.
That got me feeling a little uneasy there, Sam. Jeez.
Yeah, I wonder if it was triggered by contact from Clowell. He was definitely pretty much in a drift throughout that whole turn.
You gotta get Clewell a sponsor. Gotta get that car a sponsor. No problem with black. But we gotta get some contingencies on there. Something.
Another pitch black car back further in the field. There's a number 9 of Kevin Fetty. He actually just picked up 11th from Chris Scala. Haven't mentioned him a whole lot today. Oh, okay. It's not grey. It's bit grey. Still dark coloured.
It's army green, Sam.
I have enough arguments with my family about what colour my truck is. It's either green, grey and blue is what I've heard. Anyway, battle on for second place. Theodore holding off Clewell. Fourth is side by side. Campbell on the high side. Griffith down low. Gabe Wood still in this. Back end 6th.
Yeah, Griffith getting that done down there at the bottom. Almost makes contact with Clewell. Yeah, Gerald Campbell locked in. Man, he was right up under the bumper of Griffith. Oh, and he had to get out of it. Now here comes Gabe Wood. Gabe Wood was all the way down on the apron, Sam. Ooh.
And all this has brought Trey Galgon into the mix. Talk about top contenders. We haven't really talked about a whole lot tonight. Galgon coming in the late stages.
I think we talked about him when he wrapped the wall earlier, and that's about it. But Galgan now in a decent spot here in 7th.
Clewell attempting a pass for second on John Theodore on the inside. Not going to happen on entry. Maybe he'll get a nicer run on exit. But Theodore has that racing line. Clewell has the momentum. He also has a bit of a draft from Griffith tucked up on his rear bumper. Low line, the desired line, I would say, in the tunnel turn. And sure enough, Clewell might be able to seal the deal. Is he clear? He is clear. Does he know he's clear? Yes, he does. These guys racing for third, aren't they, though?
Man, the SSCA continues to impress week after week after week. This is some great racing here tonight. This battle between Theodore and Griffith. Griffith right there, snug across the inside and across the line. He's edging him into 1. Theodore. Ooh, Chris Scala coming in the pits. He was tired of dropping to the field.
Yeah. He might be able to make it to the end from here, though. Could be an interesting call. Realizes he's not going to win the race from back there. Play a strategy card.
He's playing some numbers. He's got somebody working the calculator for him here on time for sure, Sam. Look at this battle on screen now. Galgan. Campbell.
Gabe Wood well out of the groove, almost got in the wall again.
You know, I think Chris got enough of an idea, Sam, going back to what I was talking about, but calculating time, I think he got enough of an idea what the difference in those tires made on that run that he may be, like you said, in a great situation here to finish this race with this last stop.
If it stays green, I'm sure if this was caution,
right.
Yeah, if it's a caution, he can't risk staying out, because if he stays out, sure, he'll get all that track position back, but we see that's not worth anything after 2 turns versus a car on new tires.
Okay, so our bogey time on pit stops. Wow, our bogey time on pit stops is somewhere around 40 to 45 seconds. Let's say Scala right now about 46 and a half seconds from the leader. Better tires right now. You know what, Sam? This could work out. I don't know. We'll see. A lot of things have to happen, but this is gambling. He's not racing for points, so why not take a chance? Why not step out and look at something here?
Meanwhile, Mark Clairwell has worked his way up to the back of Will Davis. He hasn't made a pass yet, and he's brought Blake Griffith along with him. We have 3 drivers running nose to tail for the lead, and I have a feeling seeing Clairwell on his rear bumper is something Will Davis definitely does not want to see. He's going defensive.
Boy, he takes another defensive move there back up to the top. Oh, Clairwell gets in the wall. Ooh, Griffith bumps into him. That could have been a moment there, Sam.
It could be. Now, of course, if they're unhappy with who they're racing, they can always choose to come into the pits now and get out of this patch. But they all stay out. 25 laps left to go. Oh, Galgan's coming in. And so is Kevin Fetty. And Ray Richland, Jeremy Crandall. It begins.
Okay. Those dominoes start to fall.
Well, there's 2 ways the leaders can respond to this, Sean. They can pit next time by and stop these drivers who are in the pits now from using the undercut and passing them, or they can go about a 10 or 20 other laps, accept the loss for now, but then just know that they'll have a pace at the end of the race.
Well, Sam, I'm watching Scala come around now. Crandall only 10.7 seconds in the box. I don't think maybe he only took right sides. Not going to matter. Scala's coming around.
Scala's going to be right behind Galgan now. He might have a bit of momentum, but Galgan has 2 laps newer tyres. He's just going to pull away from Scala. Oh, things getting dicey for the lead. Davis had Clairwell all the way down to the apron. Clairwell running side by side with Griffiths right now as they come through turn 1. So none of the leaders opted to pit last lap around. Griffith looking. Oh!
That was contact, and boy, Clairwell does a great job of keeping it off the wall there. They did trade a little bit of paint.
Clairwell and Griffith, both drivers looking for a race win to lock themselves into the playoffs in this series. Both of them racing for points in the Xfinity division, neither of them with a win yet. They won't get a win if they wreck each other, but nice save there.
Yeah, Clairwell's going to have to get back to work now. But that was a big shot of momentum just taken out of his sails.
Gerald Campbell looking on John Theodore for 4th. Theodore, unfortunately, after restarting at the front, is losing a few positions. Still having a decent night in the 27 car though.
You know, Gabe Wood is right behind them. I just saw him brush the wall coming off the turn again. And the guys back at the shop aren't going to be happy with all that fabrication work they're going to have to do on this car. But he's still fast enough. He can hang right with him there, Sam.
Yeah, I'm surprised someone like Gabe Wood back there isn't trying to short pit and leapfrog these top 5 cars in this final round of stops. I mean, Gabe Wood is not going to win this race running back, and you've got to know he's got to be feeling comfortable about points. And after the amount of frustrations he's had this season, the only thing he can be thinking of is a win. It's unlikely, in my opinion, at least right now, that he's going to win this race on pace. He's got to try something.
Back in the field, Fetty is attacking Scala now, going into turn 1. This is for 11th spot.
Yeah, Scala just having a couple laps all the tyres, and Fetty is hurting him. And Campbell comes in. So, and Gabe Wood tried to come in, but missed pit entry.
Ruh-roh.
Hey, Campbell, the other drivers, they've got to consider the fact that Campbell just came in now. Will Campbell hit his, will this be a good stop? He hits his marks okay? "20 laps left to go at the line."
With Clewell really leaning on Blake Griffith right now. Whew. Oh, Griffith gets really hot through the bottom of the turn. They're coming in, all 3 of them. Ooh. Griffith almost runs Will Davis over. Martin and Theodore scream past from Steve Seegers, all staying out on track. Let's see where Scala, Fetty, and Galgan are here. Galgan rolling out of turn 3 now.
Yeah, but so where's Gerald Campbell gone in all of this? Boy, oh, yeah, Gerald Campbell, of course, had slightly older tyres. As so Davis beats Griffith and Clewell out. Campbell must have had a slow stop, or he wasn't able to capitalise for whatever reason on that extra lap on those newer tyres. Being told Campbell's pit time was a 15.9, nothing horrible, but
no,
still not
horrible.
Yeah, not enough to make the undercut work. John Theodore into the pits this time by. Oh, and he spins into his pit stall.
Not good. Not good at all. All right, here comes Trey Galgan to pick up another spot. And of course, Kevin Fetty, Chris Scala chasing him. Now Will Davis has gotten to Scala. He's reeling him in, coming down the front straight.
Yeah, so Trey Galgan's in 4th. The top 3, I believe, all still have to pit again. Jeff Martin, Steve Seegers, and John Theodore.
Yeah. That's right, Sam.
So after that, Trey Galgan essentially leads the race ahead of Kevin Fetty, but then we get the Will Davis and Blake Griffith battle just carving their way through the field right now. If we don't get a caution, this Davis-Griffith battle is what's on for the win.
I would say so. I agree with you there, Sam. Here they both come now down the front straight. It's only going to be 18 laps left to go. Campbell got a piece of the wall here. Let's check it out on the replay. Just like that, things have fallen apart for Gerald Campbell. Just barely gets away with that. A lot of push in these race cars tonight. And hot tracks probably got a little bit to do with it, Sam.
Yes, worth noting, Gerald Campbell and Gabe Wood, they're bad missing pit entry for Gabe Wood, and I believe Campbell had a slightly sluggish stop, in my opinion. It hasn't exactly killed their strategy because things got spread out a little bit. You know, it hasn't killed their chances of a good finish, but it has killed their chances, at least without a caution, of racing for this win against the likes of Davis and Griffith.
All right, in an effort to really try and cover the field, let's look at the battle for 12th right now, because just behind him is John Theodore, who's going to try and come in the mix here and mess this up for Ray Richard, Jeremy Crandall. Ray Richard in that flex. Oh, he's going to go right in the middle, 3 wide. Oh, yikes.
That's what slightly newer tyres will do for you, and also a bit of anger at his mistake on pit road. There's not a hope Jeff Martin could make us some fuel, is there, Sean?
Sam, we're talking about 38 laps. I just don't think the window was that wide. Maybe.
I mean, here's the thing. Okay, yeah, he's got Steve Sagers and Donald Stewart within 8 seconds of him. But then he has a 20-second gap back to the drivers who can make it to the end of the field.
Yeah, and okay, so what kind of laps are they turning? Well, the difference is about 2 seconds, Sam. It varies from 2 to 2.5 seconds. So,
so in other words, even if Martin Seegers and Stewart aren't saving fuel, they'll still be, even if they could make it to the end on fuel, they're still going to get run down by Galgan and Davis here with Thin Stan Green.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Galgan's overdriving it now, just pushing it. He's about to get swallowed up by Blake Griffith because Griffith is screaming down the front stretch at him.
Yeah, now Galgan, though, granted, he's going to lose a few positions here, but I think he's still going to come home with a decent finish, considering the fact he's been running around 10th most of the race.
Yeah, Sam, I think you're right. I think he's definitely looking at a top 10 finish here. Here comes Griffith. He's going to look to the bottom, maybe. No, he's going to play it safe. That brings in Will Davis, though. Will Davis getting a nice run back there.
Martin and Seegers are in. Of course, this isn't game over for them. They'll have the fastest tyres at the end of the race. Donald Stewart stays out another lap.
All right, so Will Davis, Blake Griffith, right back where they expected to be. Donald Stewart a full 12.5 seconds up the track from him. But again, they are a full 2 seconds faster per lap, Sam. Won't be long here.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling it's also not going to be long until we see that 78 Camaro come into the pits. As a matter of fact, it might only be about 5 more seconds. No, he's going to stay out one more time. Clewell just making his way by Kevin Fetty. Fetty, another one of those drivers who, you know, not going to be in contention for the win at the end here, but right now, strategy playing out a bit in his favour with him running in 6th with only 13 laps to go.
Well, Sam, I'm never going to complain about the green flag run, but what it did rob us of was a couple of close battles, unfortunately. So, Theodore, Scala now fighting 9th. Theodore up to 9th. Scala was doing well to hang on to it, and now Theodore gets by him.
Yeah, John Theodore was one of the last pit under the last under the last set of stops, and he's got to be kicking himself a little bit because imagine if he hadn't had that moment in the pits, he'd be about 3 or 4 seconds further up the road. He'd be passing Kevin Fetty right now, Gabe Wood, Terrell Campbell. Now, granted, these all cars he could be battling by the end of the race, but I'm sure he would love to already have disposed of them.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Sam. Unfortunately for Scala, it's the tires are just too old at this point. Not enough left to fight with, unfortunately. He has really dropped, now in 10th. And, well, Ray Richer and Jeff Martin are now going to be the next cars behind him. Ray Richer only about a little over 5 seconds behind him.
14 drivers all playing a game of strategy right now. Well, they've all pretty much played it. It's just going to be a race to see which of theirs comes out best. And Donald Stewart, with 11 laps left to go, finally comes into the pits. So this will hand the lead over the Griffith. Davis, less than a second behind him. These two could definitely still go at it by the end. Both of them racing for Xfinity points. Both of them looking for their first win of the season and chance to lock themselves into the playoffs. Clairwell just got a spot from Galgan to be anticipated because Galgan's on those older tyres, trying to salvage a top 5, well, top 10, maybe even a top 5 finish out of this.
Tell you what, so far, some Speed Shop looking good to get on the podium. We thought earlier that Ike's bad luck might rob Sim Speed Shop of a podium tonight, but boy, Blake Griffith has sure been good. He's still got to contend with Will Davis, though. Davis not giving up here half a second. Kind of in the toe here just a little bit. He was just a thousandth slower that time.
For those of you tuning into GSRC, the Watch Round doubleheader tonight of the AdPro 360 Challenger Series, followed by the Lionheart IndyCar Series, we have 15 minutes until qualifying starts over in Motegi. So you'll have plenty of time to watch the end of this race, providing it stays green. And right now, it looks like it's going to do so. And I hope it does, Sean, because Davis, I don't think he's done with Griffith here. I have a feeling these two could put on a good show for us at the end.
Yeah, I think Davis is right now taking care of the car. He's driving it just hard enough to save something here, to go get Griffith in the last few laps. Because their pace, Sam, practically identical. Again, look what they're split by there, Sam. I mean, that's crazy. He's just keeping him at arm's length here.
Yeah, Clewell was a couple of tenths faster than him, so let's not count him out. Gerald Campbell pretty much has caught Galgan here. Yep. Galgan's not going to be able to put up a fight on those old tires.
Galgan, though, still looking at the possibility of a top 5. Really, really solid effort for him. He's got Gabe Wood behind him, who we know has had his trouble tonight, struggled just a bit. But, yeah, Galgan's going to have 8 laps left to go here with a really, really good chance to hold on to a top 5.
Let's not forget the other driver charging his way up through this field is John Theodore. I anticipate he'll be passing Kevin Fetty for 7th within the next couple of turns.
We'll say Gabe Wood is starting to close it in just a little bit. He does, at least the last lap, he was a little bit faster, just under a second faster than Trey Galgan. That could be another one of our great battles here at the end, Sam.
And if we...
Theodore passes Fetty on the backstretch like he was standing still.
Yes, Theodore on those newer tires there. If we did get a caution, though, Sean, we've still got 14 cars on the lead lap. Strategy would get very interesting.
Yeah, especially with a couple of guys that right now are kind of off strategy. Trey Galgan being one of them with 4 stops. Theodore, another one who's had 4 stops at this point.
Now, Jeff Martin, Steve Sagers, Donald Stewart, and Jeremy Crandall would be hoping for a caution now, because if a caution comes out in the next couple of laps, yeah, sure, we'll still finish this race under green with the green-white checkered, but only the top 10 at the time of a caution would be a part of it. Those 4 guys sitting 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, they would be done, have to pull into the pits.
Okay, here comes here 5th place. Gabriel Wood going to go under Trey Galgan. Galgan doesn't even really fight him. He lets Gabe go. Gabe's going to take that 5th spot away. And John Theodore, who you talked about before on those fresher tires, now he is going to be the next one to start catching Trey Galgan.
But I think that's where the bleeding will stop for Galgan. I think he'll be able to salvage a 7th place finish at the worst at this rate. Change in the top 10. Sagers just passed Richer, so that gives Sagers a chance of a better finish if we get a green-white checkered at the end. Pushes Richer out into that 11th position, and actually Richer may lose that very soon to Jeff Martin.
Scala left the man alone on track right now in 9th. He's got no help in front and really no immediate threat from behind. Sam, Scala has been out on those tires longer than anybody, though, right now. He's got that extra set that we talked about, 22.6. Get a caution, man. Scala might be in position to do something great tonight.
Yeah, as long as he remains in that magical top 10, which right now looks like he will. Of course, another position that's magical is position number 1. Griffith has it. Davis wants it, and I have a feeling you might be right about Davis just biding his time here, Sean. However, he better not make his move too soon. If Davis and Griffith get too worked up about racing each other, Clairwell is coming.
Yes, and that's the car that's been fast all night, Sam. You don't want to make a mistake and leave Clairwell sitting there holding the bag, because if he's holding the bag, he's taking it to the bank with all the money and the big win tonight.
We've documented how Gabe Wood has been the driver of the season who has yet to have a win, while sitting behind Wood in the points right now are our top 3 runners on track right now. Griffith, Davis, and Clairwell. They've pretty much all been in the same bag as Gabe Wood here. They've all had good finishes all season long. They just haven't had the win yet, and it's almost a guarantee at this point, without, of course, that yellow that we keep alluding to, that one of those 3 is going to walk home with the win here. Who's it going to be? Griffith, he has the position. Davis, he has a bit of speed in the closing stages. And Clairwell, he's got a lot of ground to make up, but he's got a fast car. He's our stage 1 winner too.
Will Davis pressing now. Sam, nice run down the backstretch here. He's going to wait.
3 laps left to go at the line.
Like you said before, Davis being very careful not to make the move too soon.
He's trying to get a good run, but I don't think he did it right. Sure, he's done it enough to pull up alongside him, but he is alongside him. Here they go. Griffith able to carry the momentum up high. Davis, what he would really want to try and do, I think, is throw it in on the entry of a turn, because Griffith's going to get a better run on the exit there.
I'll tell you what, Davis is lucky, or Griffith is lucky that he can get spun around by a little bit of dirty air there off the left rear corner. Sam, Davis is doing exactly what he wants to. Doesn't want to pass him yet.
Oh, what happened to Clairwell exit in turn 2 there? Oh, he must have had a big slide, just trying to give it everything he got, trying to catch the top 2 down in the final couple of laps. And that's going to be all she wrote, unless these top 2 get into each other, which could happen. 2 laps left to go. Davis has a much better run here, but it's on later down the straight. And I think he's just going to sit behind Griffith for now.
There's that run again by Davis. Closing. Will he drop to the inside? Here he does. I don't know if he had enough momentum there. He's going to get to the inside. Will he pull all the way up? Again, Sam, it's going to be very, very close here going into turn
Oh,
two.
he hits him! He hits him! He drifts! He saves it! What a save by Griffith! But Davis is on the inside of him. These two both losing time to Clewell.
Here comes Clewell, too. Oh, boy.
And he drifts up again. Boy, this is the kind of racing you do on short tracks, not at the 2.5 mile super speedway, but they're coming to the white flag, beating off each other. Clewell licking his chops, backhands third place, 2.5 miles left to go.
Clewell still closing here, Sam.
Griffith on the high side, Davis on the inside. It came together in the tunnel turn last time around, these two costing each other time as Davis pulls out ahead of Griffith. Is Griffith going to call it quits? Hell no, it's the final lap. He's got 2 turns left to try and find something. I doubt he's going to be able to do anything in the tunnel turn unless he feels like retaliating. No. What's he going to do? Is he going to throw it into turn 3, or is he going to take it easy on the entry and try and get him out on the exit? He's going to bump him. He's going to get Davis loose. Davis slides up the track. They're side by side. Clewell can't do anything about it right now. So, here they go. And Clewell does do something about it. Gets in between them. They all hit. But Griffith wins.
Oh. Whoa.
Wow.
Davis.
I thought it was going to Charlotte when we had 2 cars smashing each other across the line. Pocono did 3.
Davis just barely gets across the line in third, Sam. He has to do it backing up. Oh, man. Wow, and that was... I mean, Clewell did what he had to do. He saw he had the run going, and the only path open to him was in the middle. That path just got very close right there. Well, Sean, you're going to have a fun time talking to these drivers. Well, I tell you what, Sam, that's just racing hard, buddy. Best of luck to you tonight at the Motegi Grand Prix circuit with the Lionheart IndyCar Series.
Yes, I'm off to drive a car around in left and right turns, but I'll tell you what, boy, there's a lot of left and right turning going on down there to the finish line in Pocono, and it was Griffith who came out on top. We'll be back with a full race rundown and drive interviews that you're not going to want to miss. Don't go anywhere here on the Global Sim Racing Channel.
Welcome back to Pocono Raceway with the Global SimRacing Channel. What a finish here tonight. The Sim Speed Shop 200. Folks, an exciting finish. Blake Griffith, your big winner tonight. Mark Clewell sending it off the final turn. Will finish second. Will Davis fighting for the lead with Blake Griffith. Blake Griffith gets caught in the middle of all that. He gets spun around, but makes it across the line in third. Gerald Campbell going to come home fourth. Gabe Wood fifth. Sixth for John Theodore. Man, he could have had more tonight. It was a good, strong run for him. He'll finish sixth. Seventh going to go to Trey Galligan. A great strategy play by him. It keeps him in the top 10, and he'll finish seventh. Eighth for Kevin Fetty. Steve Seeger's going to finish ninth. Chris Scala, who led laps in this race, had a good strategy call early, won a stage. He'll finish 10th. He hangs on. Ray Richard, 11th. 12th for Donald Stewart. Jeremy Crandall, 13th. 14th, Jeff Martin. Our old buddy Adam Eisenhower, 15th tonight. Tough luck for him early and had to park it. Ken Richardson, 16th. 7th, going to go to Mike Donahue. And tonight, we saw another great one here in the SSCA, and one that only had 17 cars start. But I tell you what, if you could find a more exciting race with 17 or less than 17, let me know, because they were on it tonight. I'm sure we've got a happy winner to talk to. I'm trying to find Blake Griffith. We haven't caught up with him yet. Apparently, the champagne flowing well. So we're going to talk to Mark Clewell first. Clewell, the man who sent it off the final turn, winds up with a second place finish. Mark, you want to walk us through those last couple laps real quick?
Well, I wasn't sure what was going to happen with them two, and I was just hitting my marks and just trying to go as fast as I can, drive the tires off, and I don't know. They just got into it, and I was able to catch them. And I think if I'd have gone way down low, I might have had a better shot at winning. But I sent it up the middle.
You certainly did, and man, that was we keep talking about it. The exciting finishes that you guys keep putting on week after week since we got started with you here back in early March. What's the secret, Mark? How do you guys pull this off every week?
We got a really good group of guys in here, and for the most part, most of them are pretty respectful. And I kind of had a little run-in earlier in the race, or kind of late in the race, and I don't know why he had to run me that far down the track. But anyway, I don't know what happened to my pit stop either. I hit my marks there, and I came out like 3 or 4 seconds behind the two leaders, and I don't know what put me so far behind, but I just saved my tires, and I was just hoping that they would kind of run theirs off, and I was able to catch them.
All right, Mark, one last question for you. You've had some success this season. There's got to be a line of sponsors down the street ready to put their name on your car. What's going on?
Well, I'm trying to get Andy Kessler to help me out and put something on the car. And, with the Aegis guys, they got all kinds of paints, but I'm not too up on how to paint. And I mean, if it made my car faster, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But I'm more into practicing than painting cars. So
got you, man. Hey, listen, you're bad fast and that bad black paint job, man. Love the color. Easy for me to say, by the way. But hey, listen, again, congratulations. It was a really, really exciting finish. You put in some good hard work tonight, and you should be rewarded for it. And that's going to look pretty good in the points.
Yeah, 10-4. I got to thank Team Aegis, Dave Washington, Dylan Jones, Daniel Eberhardt, Andrew Freenod, especially Andrew and Dave. They've really worked with me, just like Kyle said a couple of races ago. Kyle Cameron, I thank him too. But we work together as a team and really try to get faster and just really help each other out, and everybody else on Team Aegis there. I'd like to thank them.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, love that you know when to get those sponsor shout-outs in. That's good stuff, man. We will see you soon. Again, thanks for the great race tonight, buddy.
10-4. Thanks, guys.
All right, and that was Mark Clewell here as we look to get to Gabe Wood next. We'll talk to him. Gabe, that was a pretty exciting race, man. It kind of saw you up and down the board a little bit. Really got started with a little bit of contact with the wall. It seemed to slow you down, and you struggled with that for the rest of the race, didn't you?
Oh yeah, after that, that car was pretty much killed. It helped it a lot. That first caution, we were able to come in and get all the damage fixed, but it was fast, but it was never the same after that. So I kind of abandoned the hopes of finally getting a win after that. But I'm happy, recovering from fifth. These guys put on a great show, and I had a good view of all the stuff that was going on in front of us.
Okay, so you play pit reporter for me real quick. Talk me through that last lap and what you were seeing at your windshield there.
Well, I kind of had the admin in my ear at the same time, and he was kind of narrating at the same time. So, I just kept watching the relative, and I'd see Blake go in front, Will go in front, Blake go in front, Will go in front, and it just keeps swapping back and forth. And I'm like, oh, that's going to be a good race. Cluwell's catching them too. Oh no! Oh God! and then when Blake and Will got together in the tunnel turn, I thought that was over, and I thought we were actually going to get a caution there. I was going to have a chance to maybe try and fight for the win, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But that was still a pretty good race. I think that's 2 weeks in a row that we've had a last lap fight to the finish.
Indeed it is. And you guys are going to wear out my replay guy. That's putting together some highlights. But you know what? Hey, listen, we'll take him. I said it a moment ago. This league, since we hooked up with you guys back in March, you've done nothing but put on great races, both in the Challenger Series and the AdPro 360 Cup Series. It's been very exciting to watch, and it's been even more exciting to be in the booth to be part of the call on these. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah. We've unfortunately, my team owner Michael Snow, he's no longer competing in this series, so I've picked up his sponsorship. The Sasquatch Rated 4x4 and the Lone Squatch Off-Road Club. Those guys getting it done for us there at Snow Motorsports. So I want to thank them, and of course Gary for putting on the show. And I was hoping to debut a new paint scheme this weekend, but unfortunately Trading Paints decided to lose that file, so I guess I had to run my memorial paint scheme.
All right, Gabe. Well, hey, thanks a lot, buddy. We will catch you next time, and maybe that'll be a podium finish for you then. But
hopefully it's at Victory Lane.
Until then, take care, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Now, the victory celebration seems to have died down just a little bit. I think they've run out of beer down there. Blake, how you feeling, buddy?
Whew, man, that was crazy, and I'm so happy that I got to have that moment with my teammate, man. All of us at CCR worked really hard to get wins, so it was nice to see two CCR guys up front.
Well, listen, Blake, you just barely won this thing. Is that a fair estimate?
Oh yeah, for sure. I got 8 laps of practice today, and that's all that I've ran all week. So I was really happy with this. I seen Will kind of struggling midway through the run, and I got to him, was able to pass him. He got in the wall, and I drove out of my mirror a little too much. I was driving in too hard and killing my right front, and that's when he started catching me. I was killing my right front, and then once he got into me in the tunnel turn there, I don't know how I kept it off the wall and saved it, but that ate my tires up even more. And then I got into him, and that ate my tires up even more. So my car at one point was in the air about 50 foot from the start-finish line. So I'm really happy with the win, though, man. I'm really, really happy.
Hey, listen, we didn't ask anybody about tires. In fact, I'm now thinking you bring it up. What was it like with the tires? It was a bit hot on track. A lot of degradation over the run?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
man. It was, you could burn them up the first 5-10 laps, and it was kind of false hope because the first 10 laps you can run hard, and you're like, man, these aren't falling off at all. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're just gone.
A cliff, yeah.
You can't get through 1 and 2. You have to really brake hard and get to the bottom of the tunnel turn, and then exiting off of 3. Once they're gone, it's just so hard, and that's what you've seen a few times with me, falling back and then coming back forward. I was driving out of my mirror a lot. This year's my first races in the Xfinity car, and plus I've only had about 4 races this year that I have had computer issues. So to get a win, it means a ton for me and for my team.
Well, I'll tell you what, just on the tires for a moment longer, did everybody kind of start to get a clue about what the value of the tires were when Chris Scala made that move in the end of the first stage?
Oh yeah, and Chris was in our TeamSpeak room with us, and I seen him coming by, and I was just thinking, man, he's burning his stuff up, I'm afraid. And sure enough, those guys that stayed out before the second stage caution, they had huge runs on us and walked off and left us. But then, some of these guys are used to trucks, and I'm guilty too. I'm just now getting used to it. But a lot of these guys that are used to trucks and how those tires wear, they really struggle midway through the run. And I'm just now getting to where I can kind of start to save, and have something into the run.
Well, Blake, congratulations. Just a hell of a race tonight, man. I don't think we can overstate it. We could say that 1,000 times, and 1,000 times it'll be true and correct. Just so much fun watching you guys week in, week out. Congratulations on the big win tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for broadcasting. And I want to give a shout out to Gary and Will and all the guys at CCR, Joe, Ethan, Judd, all those guys. Thanks to them a ton. And also thanks to Adam and Jason at Sim Speed Shop. They've got their sponsor me, and they're on the side of the car, and I'm glad to get a win for them finally.
Blake, thank you so much. Man, we'll see you soon. And you racing Thursday night?
No, I'm not going to be able to.
Well, hey, listen, we'll catch you next week. Take care. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, buddy.
Thanks. You too. Have a good one, guys.
Okay, going to talk to Trey Galgan real quick. Trey, tell you what, buddy, that was a spirited run this evening. Just tell us about that decision you made with your strategy there at the end.
Well, there near the end, basically after the first two stages, I was just tearing up my tires, and I knew that if we wanted to finish up near the top, we would have to do something that the leaders wouldn't do. So we decided to come down, short pit that lap 55, and it ended up getting us a top 10 and finishing 7th here today.
Listen, a good run, Trey. You didn't always have the fastest car on the track, but I think in the end, the decision to stay out paid off for you and secured yourself a top 10 run. Yeah, you're going to have to be happy with that going away. It's a decent points night.
Oh, yeah, definitely for sure. Definitely for sure.
All right, Trey, anybody you'd like to thank for that effort tonight?
I'd like to thank my sponsor, Copper Hill Public House. They do a heck of a job for sponsoring me. Also, my teammates at Savage Drive Motorsports, they do a heck of a job too. So I'd like to thank them. And thank you guys for broadcasting race.
So the Public House there, is that is that a place to go have a nice, tall, frosty pint?
If you want to say that, it's basically a restaurant and a bar.
Okay.
So that's basically what it is. In Millersville, Pennsylvania, Lancaster County. So, hey, if you're in that area, go check it out. It's a good place.
All right. Sounds good, Trey. Hey, listen, thanks a lot, buddy. Best of luck to you next time. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, race fans, that was Trey Galgan, and 7th place run for him tonight, the man from Pennsylvania. Thanks for his time. Listen, folks, we got to talk to you one more time about our race sponsor tonight, Sim Speed Shop, the Sim Speed Shop 200. Great race this evening. If you have a specific design or button combination in mind, button boxes are their specialty. You could send them a picture of your idea. Simply draw it out on some paper or send them a pic, or use your AutoCAD design on your Apple. I don't know. Try something like that, but you can send it to them. They'll take a look at it. They'll send you an estimate if they have something they think is workable. They also have pre-designed signature of series boxes that are the fastest and most economical method of shaving seconds off your time around the track. Get a hold of them at simspeedshop.com. Yes, that's simspeedshop.com. And as we move on, we would like to thank all the organizers and competitors of the Simulated Stock Car Association and the AdPro 360 Challenger Series for coming out here tonight and putting on a great show. AdPro 360 is an advertising agency that specializes in digital and social media marketing. For more information, go to adproresults.com. You can also find them on Twitter at AdProResults. Check them out there. We would also like to thank all the companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcast. There you see them listed on your screen. Additional thanks always go out to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde, who provide us with our great music. See the screen for how to contact each of them and to get more of their great work if you're interested. Thanks to the team today. Samuel Ryman, who is in his IR18 now at the Twin Rig with Teggy. Joe Peak, behind the board, twisting and tweaking the sliders. Our elusive but wonderful camera artist, Dougie Beard. And if you'd like to find out more about GSRC, visit us at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on social media. Find us at Twitter at GSR Channel. Facebook, just go over there and type in Global Sim Racing Channel. You'll find us. Find us on the gram, Instagram, yes, GSRC_gram. We also have the upcoming races for other series listed on your screen, so check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. Don't miss another second of exciting racing action, and you won't miss it if you hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.